Happy Aloha Friday. We made it. It's another week through. Oh my gosh. You guys all set for this? Actually, I've got rehearsal and I got to leave in an hour and 15 minutes. So I want to start by letting everyone know I'm sorry there won't be any cantina tonight. I got to do rehearsal. I'd rather be here, but I can't. So, but we're going to do a little different than most lives. I don't have my mental health. You know how I usually do all the banners and stuff like that. This, it's interesting. I kind of dropped a comment in Discord this morning saying, I don't know what I'm going to do my subject on today. And KK, KK, are you in chat yet already or not? She and I were talking a few minutes ago, but I'm not sure if she's made it quite yet. She and my mom came up with the same subject at the same exact moment. So I was like, yeah, there she is. There's KK right there. I was like, yeah, I don't, okay, let me ask you guys real quick. Actually, let me see how our everything's looking at on the poll right now. And we'll see exactly how we're doing. We're at 9 votes. So guys, if you haven't voted, go up into the poll and let me know what you think while I'm saying hi to everyone. Then we're going to see where everyone stands with stuff. Because I have a gut feeling there's a lot more of us dealing with this right now and not, I think a lot of us kind of thought we were the only ones either obsessing or scared or things like that until we start talking and then it becomes like the conversation. So I want to say some highs to people in chat first, because first of all, we had Kay pop up in chat and hello. And yeah, Kay, I'm obsessing. My vote was I'm obsessing. I'm scared too. I'm not gonna lie. I am fearful. Okay, this is bigger than something I've seen in my lifetime, to be honest. The Gulf War back when I was in high school, okay, yeah, that was big, but this seems even bigger. But you know what I loved was your comment about going to the Bible, okay, and praying for strength and stuff. A lot of people, my mom is getting going on other sides, okay, religious sides connected to this. And guys, in this chat today, pretty much all I'm going to say is we need to be respectful of everyone involved, but discuss. This is a time for people to be able to discuss. And if we stick to the subject of mental health, we do. If we don't, for all we know, things could start going, okay, we could have huge news start up during this live. So, but yeah, no, right now, I think a lot of us are just trying to find ways to calm ourselves down, to center ourselves, and still be alert to what's going on. So, and by the way, we have Kay Crochet's Mama in chat. And so, hello, Cherry. Hello, Cherry. Hello, Cherry, if you're there right now. And Princess Megan, I like your profile pic. I should switch all of my stuff over to my Halloween and holiday stuff. I haven't done that yet, but we'll be keeping an eye. Yeah, have fun, and keep an eye on. And if you feel like talking, feel free. And all no problem. Also, guys, though, at the same point, if you're finding yourself overwhelmed by this discussion, please take care of yourself. Please, please do. Kathleen, how you doing, Kathleen? And here she goes. Hello, Cassie. Are you wanting more treats? Is that what you're trying to ask me for? And oh, you guys haven't. I just saw this. This is the newest diamond painting I just got, and I can't wait to actually start it. I just actually got all of the diamonds for it, so I've got to start breaking up the kit real quick. And who else is here? Who should we say hi to, Cassie? No, you just want treats, don't you? And there's Butterfly Kisses. You say hi, Butterfly. And there's KK is here. Christola is here. Christola is another one I've been talking to about this. And hey, Calming the Chaos, how you doing? Yeah, she last night, in fact, I should probably check. Oh, good. She learned better. These new treats to them have chicken around, these little bone type things, calcium bones. And it got stuck on her tooth last night and she couldn't get it off. And I was worried about giving it to her again, but who knows? Oh, did you drop it on the ground? Here you go. There, you don't want it, but whatever. Who else we got here? We got Chica in the house. Hello, Chica. And those of you coming in, make sure to hit the comments up at the top for the poll, because I'd love to see how people are responding to everything going on, because I think it's a little of everything, and it's showing that right now in the poll. It's a little of everything. And I think some of us probably fall in multiple areas. So, Rowdy, hey Rowdy, how you doing, my dear? Welcome, and Miss PJ, Angie Marie, how you doing, Angie? Chica, I didn't sleep well last night after they were talking about the high alert. Yeah, I know yesterday scared a lot of us because of the Day of Rage bit. I have a niece who lives and works in New York City. And it really, I mean, I was telling a couple people, I was telling her, hell, I'll pay your bill not to go to a concert and do photography tonight because I don't want you there. So, hello, doggies. I know. And cheers. Hello, she's here. Hello, Cheery. And you came in earlier. I calmed down a bit since last night, but I'm so, yeah. And I think that's the thing, keeping calm. This is not going to change. Okay, things aren't going to get better quickly. We're going to deal with this for a while, and it probably is going to get worse. So how do we deal with things? And there's a great article I found, and we'll go through that article as we talk about things. What Cass is behind my back bouncing from side to side. And but yeah, obsession on the news is where I am. I'm massively obsessing. Hello, Grace. How you doing, my dear? And I think that's about everyone here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to leave the poll up and running during this. However, what it's looking like right now is that we've got 38% with 13 of you guys voting. 38% are more fearful. They're a little more scared, a little bit, okay, worried. Okay, what's going to happen? Is it going to come to our shores? Are we going to get involved? How's it going to affect our finances, gas prices, things like that? 31% are obsessing with the news. I'll be honest today, I have been watching Agenda Free TV here on YouTube, and I have watched that channel in the last 5 days more than I've watched anything in my life, I swear. Okay, if he's live, I've been watching pretty much, and he's pretty much on my schedule, which is even better. And also, that's been interesting, and I just can't stop looking. I've got Telegram apps where I can see stuff and things, and it's overwhelming. It is overwhelming. And mad, 23% are mad, which I can totally see. Okay, I've gotten pissed off. Okay, people, you fell asleep to Agenda Free TV last night? Yep. He's done great. I mean, any of mods, if you want to drop that channel, feel free to do that. Because I've really found that good without getting, what I like about what he does is he's not pulling in, okay, any agenda type thing. Okay, yeah, you can kind of see where he falls and things, but he's been really, really fair about sharing information and also being realistic about, guys, you know what? You can't just take what you hear for facts. Research things, find out who it's coming from, things like that. So he's been really, really good. I actually became a member a couple days ago of his channel. So KK watches Fox News during the day and Agenda Free TV overnight. Can't remember the last time you haven't been sleeping, girl. And thank you, KK, for both KK and Angie Marie for sharing that. I actually had it in a small screen during the live for me, and I was like, yes, Christola, that's what I sent you guys last night. But then I thought, you know what, it might slow my computer down a little bit, so I stopped. My computer is ancient. Yeah. So so let's do this. And guys, at any time during this live, you guys can stop me. Okay, if you guys start talking about something connected with this, we'll talk about it in chat. I do have an article that was put out a couple days ago about how the news cycle affects us and how to help ourselves, okay, and take care of ourselves during these times. So we can go through that article, okay, while we talk about things. And like I said, as long as we're respectful, because guys, this is my feeling, there's innocence on all sides being hurt. And that's what I think a lot of the anger comes down to, is innocents that are being hurt right now, no matter what. Yeah, Angie, there are people who truly are saying this is not real. KK's right. I've seen the tweets, I've seen the comments, I've seen the videos saying, "Oh, this is all not real." That what happened at the music concert was not real. A lot of the other, it's maddening. One thing that I can say that they are doing, and this is causing part of my problem with the obsessing with the news, it's being documented like nothing before. There is someone on Telegram that's part of the response. Okay, that's going into a lot of the areas to make sure everything's okay, to clean up, stuff like that. And they have been posting what they're finding. And it's hard. It's going to bring up some of the things in this article where you're seeing stuff and you're like, oh, ugh, you feel bad for even looking at some of these things, but it reminds you this is real. This is real. And the fear. My mom did not want me going to rehearsal tonight. Okay, I mean, my mom did not want. She was dead set against it, and I'm like, Mom, we don't have a major issue. We've had no protests here, anything like that. So I think we're fine. And also, Angie, there's been some fake pics that went around, but there's very real ones too. Yeah, and that's the thing. There are fake stuff. You've got to do your research, people. You've got to do. If you're going to obsess with the news, then take the responsibility of also verifying what it is you're looking at it. Okay, really important to do that. Kathleen, actually, first, Crystal, sometimes things are set up. This is far from fake. This is yes. And there are certain things. I've seen some videos during this of showing where people have set up fake things. They show how the makeup is done and stuff like that. So there is actually fake out there too. Kathleen, how did it all start? Okay, how did this start? We can say it all started last week, Saturday, but that's kind of doing a disservice to the whole thing. Because it's so much more than that. But this specific response has come from Saturday. Okay, last Saturday. In fact, we are coming up. Hey there, you changed your name back. Sounds good, Mrs. P. Love you, my dear. And also, we're almost at the 1 week mark. Can you guys believe it's been a week since all this news started breaking? 1 week at 6:30 a.m. their time. Okay, so in an hour and 15 minutes, I think it is, or 40, yeah, 15 minutes, we will be at the 1 week mark, which will be interesting to see what happens. Okay, do we have some new breaking news at that point? Is what I'm wondering about. But honestly, there's some great video. And Kathleen, I can share some videos that really go back because, like I said, there's innocent on all sides. Everyone has a different view of where history is and how it's affected them and stuff like that. However, with this and what happened this time, okay, Saturday kicked off this whole thing. I mean, this was going on. This has been being planned for over a year. I mean, anyone who's been following the Telegram thing, I shared it with KK last night. They've actually found a book of the planning that led up to this, and it's dated October 2022. And so it's. I can share out some videos though later on if people are interested. Please come to Discord. We are doing a little bit more in-depth talking about it over on Discord. I might actually create a folder or a thread for it. But yeah, I'll help share that type of information with you. Let's see what else we got here. You don't want me going to rehearsal either. I know. I can tell you this. Okay, my rehearsal is in an area of town where people usually, it's where our Costco is. Okay, one of our Costco's is there. It's actually where they used to can Dole pineapple. It's the old Dole pineapple cannery. And also, I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good. So, and it doesn't look like I think I expected the day to be much worse than it turned out. Okay, luckily it looks like only one person was killed during things today. And that was a French teacher. Um, and there's been some other attacks, but it's been much not nearly as anger, hate, rage filled as I was worried it would be. And also, you saw the footage before they blurred everything out. Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, if you go to that site, KK, that I shared with you last night, it's they have everything there. They have everything there for documentation sake. And, it's really, but again, there's innocents being hurt all over right now. And we can look at whose fault is whose. Okay. But right now, we need to be focused on praying, okay, and doing whatever we can. Okay, like you said right there. Okay, Mrs. P said their church is doing nightly prayer services for Israel. And also started that on Sunday. There you go. It all started, yeah, exactly. And that's it. Exactly, Grace. That's why I'm like, well, it's a long story. Because that's the thing. Okay. When you're talking about the homeland, Israel talks about, you're actually talking about a land from thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. And also it's super, super long story. But you know what? In a way, for those of us who are obsessing with the news, it's a great way to spend your time. Instead of when you see yourself triggering based off of, okay, seeing pictures or stuff like that, research, find out your history, research the history, because that's something we don't do enough of here. We don't research history to find out why people respond the way they are. A week is way too long for all this horror. Oh, yeah, way, way too long for all this. I couldn't believe it's been a week. I mean, seriously, a whole week. And we still have people who are being held, okay, hostage, kidnapped, basically. And also, yep, that was it. An Israeli diplomat family member was stabbed in China, and they're okay. They survived. And gee, I'm making a cup of coffee now. I can hardly sleep with all and that's the thing. Okay. You usually stay sleeping. So there you go. There you go. And that's where I know I kind of covered this when the Ukraine kind of blew up. The war started, okay, coming to the next level back in, I think it was December or so last year, December, January last year. We did something like this, but I did a more in-depth, one of the old-fashioned types lives I did. So please go back. I'll even post that because we talked about the amygdala and stuff like that. Today, I want to talk more specific about what we are going through as a community here. And what? Oh, no, he did? Okay. Prayers to him. I need to research in that because yeah, when I woke up this morning, they were saying that there was only one so far. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill my dogs. There they go. And so yep, we gotta research this stuff. Yeah, and no matter what, and that's it. That's it. And there's a lot, yeah, religion just in general with this case. Okay, because you're talking about beliefs on two different sides that are connected. There's a lot going on within this. Okay, Wrigley, you can come sit with mommy. You can come sit with mommy. Mwah. They just just an hour ago, so that's why I didn't hear it. I was doing some other stuff at the time. Okay, let me get Cassie moved over here, and there. Okay, we're all set. So I'm going to bring this up and we can continue going back and forth as much as we need to. Okay. This is really honestly a chance for you guys. If there's things that are upsetting you about it or that you want to say, I do think we need to make sure we keep them in our prayers light. Okay. Yeah. And here she goes. That's my thing. Yes. I am okay. When it comes down, if I had to say things, yes, Israel. Okay. That's where I stand. But I stand for humanity right now. Okay, and the people that are being hurt on all sides, and the evil that is leading to that happen, and also, but yeah, and hey, Hope is here. Hello, 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 Hope. How you doing? Yeah, thanks, Liver, to letting me not work during this time. See, there's always a bright side. Yep, KK, you stand with Israel, and that's the thing. That's the thing. But I think it's important for people to realize you can stand with one side and still have empathy, still have, okay, pray for all sides. Okay, because in the end, that's what we're taught. Okay, we're taught whether it is through religion or just ethics in general. Okay, that we are there for anyone who's hurting. And there's this has been a hard one because there's a lot of times I'm like, do I talk about this subject? Do I not talk? And I'm like, you know what, this is part of our lives right now. And I think it's not going to get better. This is going to get worse before it gets better, gang. Um, the men making the war sit at home smoking their cigars while everyone kills it. Mhm. One way to put it. Yeah. Um, and this time, yes. Thank you. Thank you. KK, thank you so much. Yeah. We just, oh, this is P. Okay. All opinions are welcome. Please keep it respectful. Thank you so much, KK, for that reminder. So I'm going to pull this up. And like I said, if we stop at any time, we can stop at it to discuss. I'm going to keep an eye on the comments also because that's what we're here for. Chris, how you doing, Chris? Hello, hello, hello. And also, this was actually, I wanted to kind of try to find something if anyone was addressing current events, not current events as in COVID or current events as in Ukraine or older stories, but current. Okay, and there was an article. This was actually written 2 days ago on SBS News. And as they start saying within this, hey, Robbie, I love you, my dear. Mwah. I love you. I love how the house is starting to look. Oh my God, you're taking my favorite color combinations, I swear. And also, it's looking nice. So, love you, my dear. Um, so those of you coming in, make sure to hit the poll. But with the escalation of Israel Hamas conflict, okay, many of us are finding ourselves feeling stressed. We're feeling anxious. We're scared. We're okay. All these things we're trying to figure out. Should I go fill up my gas with tank? My gas tank with gas, not tank. I do know how to talk, don't I? And all these things going through. Okay. Are we going to be safe going to rehearsal tonight? Okay. Can my niece take photos at a concert tonight? All of those things going on. Okay. Okay? They're in our head. What is everything going to look like tomorrow? And then the wait. How many of you are finding yourself sitting on pins and needles waiting for that next step? Because it's kind of like we know there's going to be a ground invasion, but we are waiting. We thought yesterday, okay, no, maybe today. No. We keep going on with it. And because of that, we don't get a moment to just sit back and say, okay, take care of yourself. Okay, focus. Yeah, Angie. Angie's there. Kay is there. And all of us who are there. Christola is there. Just sitting right on the edge of this thing. Oh, yes, Mrs. P, the weather on top of it. So it makes it harder to go out and okay, enjoy yourself because it's getting rainy and cold and all that. You're stuck sitting in, and when you're sitting inside, you watch the news. Okay, so Mrs. Cassandra, first of all, love you, my dear. And second of all, yes. And that's the thing. Tomorrow is never a guarantee. We are living our life right now from day to day to day. And we need to realize just live each day. And that's one of the best lessons we can learn ever. And so yeah, and that's part of terrorism, exactly. Okay, getting us to live in fear. Okay, so many of us, like me, okay, do we talk about this? Do we do a live where we're talking about this? How many of us are actually talking about this on lives right now? Okay, is it because of fear? Is it because or whatever it is? Mrs. P watches Newsmax. I watch Newsmax too. Well, my mom does. My mom does. And my mom watches news all day long, no matter what the story is. And yeah, no, I know that's where my mom's been sharing. Joel Rosenberg has all sorts of stuff. Okay, he's written, oh God, Joel, for those of you who are into, okay, wanting to read about revelations and stuff like that, any of Joel's stuff, he kind of takes current events and creates, oh my God, it's just really good stuff. I made the mistake of accidentally sending a link to Robbie's Michael, thinking it was my mom and it was about Joel, but yeah. And also, Hope, you don't get afraid, you get angry. And see, that's it. So many of us are responding in different ways because each of us deal with emotions in different ways. Okay, when you see some of the videos coming out right now, the pictures coming out right now, some of us can look at these pictures of what happened, okay, in the kibbutzes or stuff, or in Gaza. Even myself right now, I'm watching live streams of Gaza, and you see something hit, and my heart breaks a little bit because I wonder, okay, how many innocent people were hurt by that? And that's me and how I deal with things is I feel for those people. Um, and then I get scared because I'm like, okay, especially right now. Okay, KK and I were talking about this a few minutes ago. What's going to happen if we get Hezbollah comes in now, and we got two different things happening here? That's a progression that really worries a lot of us. Let me see what we got here. I'm trying to keep an eye on chat. You don't get you trust and believe. And you know what? I think that's where having that belief and faith is so important, because when that belief and faith is based off of love, which is what the God I believe in, at least, okay, is it's based on love for people. It makes peace come to your heart. Okay, and I'm speaking as someone, I don't go to church every week anymore. I used to. I haven't in years. I should. And but the peace in my heart comes from that. It's not a anger. And that's just different ways people see things. Um Angie, I've been asking a lot of questions. Yeah. Reading into things is really trying to find the research is really, really important. Um, Let me see. I'm way far behind here. I'm going to start writing down what I come across and can't just, hey, Angie, that's actually, guys, seriously, come to Discord. We'll start those discussions, okay? Because the more of us who are talking, the more we can kind of go back and forth. And if you guys want a folder just for this, we can, because it's part of life. We can't hide it. We can't hide from it because it's there. I'm sorry, boo boo. I love you, my dear. Love you. And that's the thing. It's so many of us get scared. What's going to happen? How is it going to affect us? Um, are we safe? My mom literally approached me yesterday morning or the morning before, saying, do you think we need to create a plan for being safe in the house if someone broke into our house? So you get a lot of those things, and those are real fears. They're real fears, and they're things that we need to find ways to deal with. And I think the most important thing is understanding when you need to take that step back. Okay, and I'm not saying right now, if you need to take a step away from the live, do that too. But I'm talking about when you're watching stuff, watching news, reading stuff. Okay, the Telegram account that I watch, there's sometimes I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh God, I got to put that away because I can't do this. I can't do this to my heart. I'm hurting my heart right now. That doesn't change how I stand on things and how I will make sure I'm knowledgeable about things, but I got to take care of who I am first. It's like taking care of anything else in life, your friends, whatever else, you need to do that. Chris, I'm not scared of what's going to happen because and you know what? Those very, 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 very fair words. Very fair words. It's really, there's so much going on with this right now. As this is saying here, yeah, KK, welcome to Discord. We have been sharing a lot, and I'm willing to share what I have learned. Yep, Lone Wolf, myself, KK. I mean, Cristola's talked some. Okay, Chris gets some great information in there. Guys, please come over because, yeah, we'll talk and help everyone understand what's going on. Are you wrong to fear dying those ways? Oh, no, you're not wrong. Guys, can I ask all you guys, this might help Boo Boo also. Yeah, Chris shares cases. Chris is amazing at that. Boo Boo just brought up something here. Okay, how many of you guys have ever heard the horrible stories of how people were killed one way or another, one side or the other, and you yourself start worrying about could that happen to you? I'm raising my hand right now. That's why my mom wanted to have a plan on could we. She literally was like, should we cut out a hole under the stairs so we can go under the house like a trap door? And the reason why I'm asking you guys that because okay, Boo Boo, and thank you for being so open and honest, Boo Boo. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I don't know. Boo Boo Kitty Meow. It's just easier to get your name out quickly that way. But thanks for sharing that because I think a lot of us get these fears and we don't want to be the one to say, "Oh yeah, I'm scared that someone's going to come and maybe hit me." Or any of these other things. Okay. And that that's something I think a lot of us fear. And I just saw where is it there? There. I can't yeah, our children who are autistic trying to deal with these things and all. It's a lot of things. You have Seal has an emergency plan. And I think that's a good thing right now to have. Even if you're safe because do I feel there's a chance that people are going to come in? Okay, I told someone, you know what, back when it was ISIS, I had a little bit more fear because Philippines had an ISIS group. I'm not as worried for some reason when it comes to Hawaii and this, but that doesn't mean that there's not a possibility. But you know what? Having a plan, like Seal is saying she has a plan and all, you know what? There's nothing wrong in being prepared. I mean, things happen. Okay. We just had a break in down the street from us. We never have break ins on the street. It's good to have those plans because you never know when they're going to help with something else. And so it's a good thing to do that. Let me see what we got here. I don't want to miss if I miss your guys' comments. I'm sorry. I'm kind of trying to do a little bit different because this is truly about all of us today. And you did fear that when my door was kicked in, God took. Wow. And yeah, you know what? Having that faith for those, and I know not everyone has that same faith. And but I think for those who do have some level of faith and all, like that, it does give you strength. Now I'm gonna say you guys know me. I try to see everything from both sides. That's just who I am. And that's what I honestly believe. Those on the Hamas side are things, it's their faith that takes away the fear, if that makes sense. Okay, to the extreme. Okay, of course, to the extreme, but it's that connection. Okay, with everything, if that makes sense. Okay, not excusing by any means, in fact, exactly the opposite. But yeah, it's that fear. Okay, that's taken away when you have something to lean against. And um you don't worry, but I don't take things for granted. Yes. And I think that's why I added the thing about that doesn't because and there are some people. I'm looking at the list right here. It's not really affecting me. There are some people it's not affecting because you know what? They're more rational minded, more okay. Some of us are more emotional minded. We take things very, very emotionally. Others are much more logical, much more analytical, much more like, okay, you know what? I keep my head on straight and that makes a huge difference. What is this? Love the wasp spray idea. What did I miss about the wasp spray? Oh my god, I gotta see this. Seal, you lay awake and sometimes think of all the ways people can break into. Yeah, you have four doors, you start going into all these different ideas and stuff like that. But I think it's important for us to recognize there's a difference between allowing fear to take over your life versus allowing the fear to educate you and prepare you for possibilities. That's where the difference is. That's where we have to find those middle grounds. Okay. Because it's good. Fear can help push us to make a decision. Okay. Me having a fear that a hurricane could hit this year is going to push me to make sure that I have my water ready, that I have okay my all food ready, things like that. I have Okay, dog cages, crates for the dogs. Okay, that fear becomes healthy in that way. When the fear takes over my ability to act, that's when the fear becomes a problem. And that's where we try to find out, how can you attack fear and make fear work for you rather than tear you down and tear you apart. And that's the hard part. And I'm trying to wasp spray that sprays 20 feet. Oh my God. I am so gonna have to do that for mom and me because my mom's scared of everything. My mom is like scared of everything. I mean, overly so. And also I try to help her come up with ideas and everything. And me on the other side, I tend to not get as scared. I just want to educate myself on whatever is scaring me, if that makes yeah, Chris, kinda like that. I'm more logical and analytical, but if I don't watch myself, I can go down rabbit holes very quickly. And, try to stay away from as much I can watch and what the main headlines are. You don't need to see all the pics and stuff. Exactly. And Christola, for example, in your case, that is your we were talking boundaries last week, right? You have a boundary for yourself. Okay. I, on the other hand, have seen some of the graphic videos and pictures and stuff. Um, and I know where my boundary is. Okay, for example, I was talking to KK yesterday and I said, yeah, I've been following this one Telegram account, blah, blah, blah. But I haven't shared it with people because it can be pretty dang graphic, but it's documenting stuff. And they found a instruction book that a Hamas person had left in one of their vehicles. And I was talking about the instruction book. And so we all know. I'm like, I'm not sharing this account with anyone because each of us have our own boundary. And I don't want to push my boundary on someone else. So I don't just share things out like that. And so that's smart, Christola. That's really smart to have that type of thing. Exactly, KK. It's totally okay to be scared, especially when you have children and stuff like that. It's totally fair. I mean, Crystal, I hope you're okay with me saying this to you. Okay, what our discussion was the other day about today. Do you send your children to school or not? That was a question. How many of you moms and dads out there had a moment go through your head yesterday where you were like, should I send my children to school or not today? When the day of rage was called, you had to make a decision. Okay, some of you may not have even thought about it, had been like, come on, give me a break. Nothing's going to happen where I am. Other people may have actually kept their kids home from school today. And that was something a lot of us were talking about yesterday. And where I was talking to Crystal, thank you. Okay, I just didn't want to go further than that until then. Okay, as I was talking to Cristola, you almost have to look. Mrs. Cassandra homeschools. That makes a big difference. And also, Boo Boo, it really does. Learning how to pray definitely helps calm you down. Whether it's prayer, meditation, whatever, it's just something about having trust in something that helps. And but with that whole thing, when you're looking at, okay, do I send my kids to school? Do I not? Should I prepare for this? Is this going to happen to me? Things like that. You got to really take a look at what's around you. What are the chances? Okay, I went so far as to tell Cristola yesterday, how far is the nearest, okay, mosque? Now, I'm not saying that being near a mosque is automatic, but we know certain groups pull together in certain locations. So that puts you at a higher area, okay, higher risk. And welcome, Mrs. P. I love you, my dear. Hey, Cassie, say hi, Mrs. P. Hey, Mrs. P, welcome. And also, thank you for joining, my dear. Thank you for joining, my dear. I love you. So looking at that, how close are things? Okay, when you go down your main city, okay, street, do you see protests going on? things like that. Those are going to make some that you recognize. Okay, for example, if you're living in New York City, you're at a much higher risk for something happening than, say, if you're living in Eva Beach, Hawaii. Okay, so you get all those things. Exactly. Canine, you can get shot at a grocery store. Things can happen anywhere. Things can truly happen anywhere and everywhere. I had to put that on the screen. I forgot to. And so things can happen anywhere, anytime. And that's why there was one time this isn't really connected to current events per se, but okay, you guys know I work long term care. I used to run nursing homes. Now I do consultant work. But when I was in nursing homes, we knew as a nursing home, we were at a very high risk for workplace violence, including with weapons. And I would go on regular trainings for dealing with that. Okay, how do you prepare? How do you put plans together? And there were a couple times I went to things where we had first responders talking to us. And I remember one of them telling me they literally, when they walk into a restaurant, they walk into a movie theater, they walk into anything, even though the chance nothing's really going to happen there, it's so ingrained in their head now that they literally will sit down at a movie theater, look around and be like, okay, there's that exit there. Okay, I can run and hide over there. Okay, I'm good. Same thing, restaurant. They walk into a restaurant and they just real quickly put an exit strategy together for them. Do they allow the fear to run their life? No. Because if they allow the fear to run their life, then they never get to enjoy life. And but they're logical enough about it to be like, okay, I need to have the same way getting in your car is a very high risk. So what do we do do we get in the car and get scared? Okay, some of us may, especially when you're learning to drive or something like that. But at some point, you get to the point you're like, okay, you know what? I'm driving. I drive defensively. Okay, I follow the laws of the road. I put on my seatbelt. I have all these little steps that I do, okay, that are going to protect me as much as I can. Okay, may go as far as to put a cross or other symbol in your on your rearview mirror thing. Okay, whatever it is you need to do, but you do stuff to kind of set yourself up to be able to deal with all the emotions that are coming your way during that. And it's the same case here. Okay, there are things we can do to not allow the emotions, the fear, the sadness, the anger, those things to take over our lives. Okay. Oh yeah, Hope. Exactly. You have those. I bring that up, and I'm not sure about certain words at times. And but yeah, having those things. How many people yesterday said they were going to carry stuff yesterday? Okay, they were saying yesterday for today. They would do that. And so you read your Bible. Yeah. And you do anything you can to kind of go journal. If these emotions are getting to you, journal. Now, the journaling doesn't have to be writing. Like I've said before, I cannot do a written journal to save my life. I just can't do it. Okay. But what I can do is have a journal on my phone, audio journal, where I literally will record myself just saying how I feel that day or what happened that day. And I save it for that day. And I've got almost like a diary there. And then if I want to write, I can write. And bear spray. Oh my God. Yes. Bear spray definitely is a thing. And yeah, Mrs. P, some people cannot. Some people cannot. And also certain things some people can carry and some people can't. So anyhow, as this is mentioning here, there's a lot of us right now. Okay. How many of you put a one in chat if you find yourself going to X, you go into Instagram, going to Telegram, all these places to find out updates. Okay. I don't know about you, but once I go to X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, everything is 100 times worse. Okay. In the same way that Facebook, X, things like that can be make life look so happy and all. Okay, we talk about that a lot of times, how people will make, yeah, Twix. I love it. Okay, the internet can make life look all happy go lucky and everyone has a wonderful life except of course ourselves. And it's the same way in this case. Okay, but the opposite. All of a sudden, all we see is the negative. And some of it may be real, some of it may not be, but we don't know the difference many times. Okay. But all we know is we're seeing these horrible things. There's one of the videos that got me more. Well, I talked to you guys about Shawnee, for example. That one got me big time, really big time. Not to mention the follow up from it's gotten me even more so. Um, but there's a video that's out right now of a little baby who is underneath rubble with what looks like probably his mother who passed away or a female who passed away on top of him. They're trying to get the baby out. Almost looks like the baby is being born again. Okay, because it's that kind of let's twist them until we can get them out. And um yeah, that just destroys me when I look at that. And I've seen it pop up multiple times now. Okay, Shiny, I still have it popping up on my feed. And all these things do, and they just destroy you. That's one on each side. Okay, and how it can truly, truly, it exposes, as they say here, your fears, past trauma, if you have past trauma issues going on. All of that's there. Um, K9, you live in a high risk area, only about 40 miles from Fort Leavenworth. I know Fort Leavenworth. My parents were, my dad was actually stationed there when I was a little girl. Definitely a target area because of stealth bomber. Yep. And that's it. That's how Hawaii, I've told a couple of you guys, if this gets bigger, which I expect it's going to get bigger, um, Hawaii is the middle of the Pacific. It's everything for the Pacific. And I know for a fact there are locations there anyone would go after. I know it. I knew that back in ISIS days. I knew that now. I've known that with so many, and it's only a certain time. KK, that one, the dog, yeah, that dog one, I had forgotten about that one, but that's number 3 right there. And you have to have that ability to say, I know I can't watch that, and I choose I'm not going to watch that, just like Christola said. You see the video pop up and you're like, okay, no, I can tell by that discussion there. F FOMO. Okay. So many times we live our lives based off of FOMO, fear of missing out. So we're like, okay, I've got to make sure I don't, okay, I can't miss this. I can't miss this because I'm going to miss something. No, if you miss it, you miss it. It's not going to make a difference in the overall scheme of things if you miss something. Okay, when you know you're doing it because you need to take care of yourself. And as they say here, footage is often it's first person. It's very graphic. Okay, it has this immediacy to it. Even if it happened a week ago, it's like, oh my God, it's just it makes the urgency build up in us. Um, Here she goes. I watch MSNBC and a couple interviews from Israel News, I believe on you. Yep. And there, and that's the thing, trying to find, I am finding, believe it or not, I'm finding by listening to Steve, the guy I've been talking about, 90% of the time, it doesn't seem to have that. Now, yes, if you go and follow like the Telegram site and all that I'm talking about, you will find that sense of urgency, trauma type thing. But I find your mainstream channels are pushing that trauma, pushing that fear. Okay, it's in the way they report on it. Okay, the way they word things. It's just it pushes it more than ever. And I've never noticed that till recently because my mom will be watching Fox and all, and I'll be watching, okay, Agenda Free TV. And I'm like, wow, look at the difference on how people report and how that builds up emotions in me. And your Newsmax app. Yep. Hope I have BLM and Antifa in my little itty bitty town here in Pennsylvania. They have, yeah. And they're here on everything. You will not watch any video with death. And that is, again, boundary that you have. You stick to those boundaries. Again, F FOMO. Okay, once you see something, you can't take it away. And there have been some things I have seen that I wish to God I could take away. And I just have this freaking mind that drives me crazy at times. And I need to learn to stick to my boundaries too. And let's see, KK, I live outside of Boston, had to go downtown today. Yep. The protests are absolutely terrifying. Yeah. My mom had to go in and get her hearing aid fixed this morning, and she had forgotten about it. And she's been waiting for like 2 months to get this new hearing aid, and almost canceled her hearing aid appointment because she didn't want to go into town today. And yeah, boo boo, exactly. That's the story about Shawnee when I was talking about Shawnee, the girl in the back of the truck. And what's frustrating in that case, someone is playing games with it now. Someone contacted her mother, and no proof or anything like that. No one's been able to verify any of this, no pictures, no nothing, but they're saying, "Oh, she's alive. She has a head injury and she is in critical condition at a hospital there." So she's giving this person is giving mom all this hope, and it pisses me off because I don't personally, my thought, I don't think she is. I don't think she's alive. I think someone is playing games because they wanted their 5 minutes of fame, or they wanted to change the narrative. That's me, though. Yeah, you saw that too. It just pisses me off to no extent, and really upsets me there. It's messed up, and um, so yeah, she did not whatsoever. And actually, people have gone and tried to analyze things. Don't go looking for all this stuff, but yeah, I think it's a way of people changing because they know that was one of the things that really, really upset people. It's like right now, there's a lot of video being out there right now of soldiers who went into some of the kibbutzes playing with the children, and that I'm like, yeah, exactly, boo boo. That was like, no, no, no. Yeah, if you're calling that the head injury, yeah, no. And um Mrs. P. Portland once years ago was a beautiful city, but yeah, became dangerous. And that happens with so many of us. Um, Kristola, because more than you'll ever have. I'm sitting here trying not to, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to at times. I blame Robbie for that. If Robbie's still in chat, everyone knows it's Robbie's fault that I cuss now. And also, okay, I kind of go, I think we're not going to go through this whole article and all this. Like I said, is much more about just us coming together, talking about things. In fact, if we had Cantina, we'd probably be continuing that discussion tonight. So, lots of feel, and that's the thing. The emotions are back and forth. They're all over the place. I mean, it's everywhere. The fear, yeah, boo boo, exactly. I mean, that picture of her on the back of the car, I'll never be able to unsee. And it was being shared without being blurred out initially, which makes it even harder because it was shared out in a way that's impossible to. Sorry. Grace just made me crack up. Grace just made me crack up. Yes, I'm going to change my. Actually, I do have a backup channel, guys. I just have never really advertised it or anything. It officially was supposed to be my initial channel, but more people subbed to this channel. So I was like, oh, well, okay, let's just do that. But yeah, I should rename it Blame Robbie. A lot of people would love that name. Yes, exactly. And yeah, it was torture. In that case, it was. She usually, exactly. Yep. Yeah, that video was horrible. I know there's a town where a lot of FBI agents were missing. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, no, I think right now we're hearing a lot of stuff. Like yesterday, they came out and said 13 of the hostages were killed in shelling and stuff. And it's like, why is what gets me, and sorry, I'm going to make this comment. What gets me is we have not been shown many video of these 100+ hostages alive to begin with. Okay. Oh, is it Joplin? Really, Chris? I know Joplin. Okay, I'll have to look it up for sure. because yeah, I know Joplin. I used to live in Fort Leonard, Waynesville, and so I think honestly, my personal feeling, KK, on this is that many of them were killed. There's one video out there through security footage of someone had been killed. They were laying on the street, and when they pulled up in their truck and they looted everything like they tended to do, they grabbed the body and put it in the truck. So I have a funny feeling a lot of that happened. And that's one reason why we're not getting video of things. Otherwise, good and well, they'd be showing video of, see, we have all these people, okay, and we're taking care of them and stuff like that. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And that's just my 2 cents. Everyone can have their own opinion, okay, whatever. Yeah, it looks like a lot of you kind of agree with what I'm saying. Oh yeah, there's a lot going on. This is not just since Saturday, guys. There's a lot going on with this, okay? And it's not just connected to what Hamas did with Israel. There's things going back decades, centuries, okay? I won't go to millennia, but centuries, okay? 1,000-year type thing. Angie, thank you for saying that, because I wasn't sure if this would make things worse for people or not. And I was really worried about that, because you guys know me. I don't like to make things worse, but I know a lot of people have been worried about stuff. So thank you. Thank you for letting me know, because that actually helps me feel better about things. Yeah, a lot of people, a couple of you guys here in this group have even told me that you've thought from the get-go that you were living in the end times. And I think things are getting more and more evident of that. When this started up, I knew it could go either. I told someone this yesterday. I think all of these things has been happening, but at the end, instead of things going this direction, people went this direction. So it kind of kept pushing it off longer and longer. The problem is this time, people aren't taking this direction. They're taking the direction that's pushing us towards exactly, KK, World War III. We've got Ukraine, we've got, Russia and Ukraine, we've got now Israel, Hamas, Hezbollah potentially in there, which we got Iran going, we've got our people there, it's building, and I don't see it deflating at all. Chris, thank you. That helps me understand a little bit more on what helps more, because I can be very blunt. I can be way too blunt at times. And I need to always find my boundary, okay, on what works and what doesn't work. So thank you. Thank you. I don't want to forget the mental health side, because guys, that's the part only we can handle. We don't have control over what's happening, okay, in Gaza or in Israel or anything like that. What we do have the control over is our response to it. It's kind of like drama on YouTube. We don't have control over what all these other people are doing, but we do have control over how we respond to it. So we've been living out the last day since he ascended. Yeah. Nobody knows the day or hour. And that's the thing. You live every single day like it's the last. Because those of you who've ever lost a loved one, okay, I lost my dad a couple of years ago. Okay, if you live every single day like it's that last day, you have nothing to fear. Okay, you've said everything to people that you want to say, and you never have to think twice about it. Okay, I definitely will. I need to open up Discord and I'll check things out. So I will actually, if enough of you guys are talking about this, I'll move the discussion from the talk story thread in Discord into something else. Look at who joined us. It's everyone's favorite sleuth mom. How you doing, girl? How was work today? And so let me see right now what's going on here that Lone Wolf posted. France is under fire for their extreme terrorist law. Wow, there's some stuff going on. Yeah, Agenda Free TV has just been amazing at everything that it's gotten. Oh, okay. Got it. It's breaking down all the evacuation things. Yeah, definitely, guys. Those of you who are not part of Discord, feel free to join because it's literally just something for. Yeah, KK. I made a comment earlier that I could start a new folder. I don't want to overwhelm people with folders, but at the same time, I want people, as I'm saying to you guys, you got to have boundaries and know I can't talk about this right now. And I want people, what I'm thinking more and more about is that if I'm telling people, you know what, step away from all this stuff if it's too hard to deal with at that time, and yet you're coming to Discord and you are sitting there looking at nothing but all this, you need a safe place. So, or a place that you know don't go to. So yay, Mrs. P, thank you. And KK, yeah, okay. I will definitely do that. Either before I leave, if this live doesn't go past the time I have to leave, or as soon as I get to the theater. I will definitely. What are you doing? Oh, did you just burp? Did you guys just see her burp? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for burping on camera for everyone. Exactly. And also, let me go back to this real quickly. And because I do want to go through some of the things that they mention here. Okay. And I at least hit on these areas before we finish things up and all. And like I said, we can continue talk. We'll keep going back and forth as much as we need to because this is for us to talk. And but I think a lot of it comes, yeah, Cassie was polite. Okay. She didn't do it out loud. Well, I heard it. She's kind of like, and I'm like, okay, yes, Cassie, you're a good girl, aren't you? Oh, she's horrible. She's horrible. And then the boy's sitting right here. So, but a lot of the things that we're talking about, okay, like the doom scrolling, that's me. I'm the doom scroller. I'm the one who has that Instagram account, not Instagram, Telegram account up, and I'm first thing in the morning, I'm checking, okay, is there any new information that they've come across? Mom, we're going to tell on you. Ooh. Everyone, Sleuth Mom is sneaking it. Okay, sorry. Hey, Oscar, how you doing, my dear? Love you. Mwah. Love you, Oscar. And so these are the things you can do to develop those, okay, boundaries for yourself. Okay, you're recognizing something that's being there and your emotions are in a different thing. And guys, it's okay for those of you who want to see these things. I think so many times that one sentence right there, all of us can have that sort of perverse interest. Okay. I don't know about you. Like I said, I'm one, I tend to look at everything. I get researching so much and I see everything. And there's been times that I get pissed at myself for doing that. Okay, like there's got to be something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you for doing that. All of us are different. And as this article says, okay, it's something that we tend to, as human beings, a lot of us tend to do. There's this almost perverse interest in being able to see everything that's happening. You want to understand. My problem that I have is I want to understand what makes humans act the way they act. It's a huge issue I have, and it's a good issue. Okay, but stop doom shaming. There you go. Exactly. Stop doom shaming. And I love you, Robbie. And also, by the way, we decided to name my backup channel Blame Robbie because Robbie taught me to swear. And Lone Wolf, I love you, my dear. You are amazing. Thank you so much. And oh my God, 5 of you. We got 5 new. Okay, guys, come join us on Discord because if you're a member, we have a special kind of quiet channel in there. And also, but we will get that going. So, oh, Lone Wolf, thank you so much. And I need to do more for my members for sure. And also, thank you so much, my dear. So, yeah, you feel like you're traumatizing yourself by looking, but you're overly curious. I think that's those of us who are into true crime tend to get that way at times. And I feel bad. There's times that I really feel bad, like I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing. Okay, because I'm seeing people at times that they're really hurt. I mean, would I want people looking at pictures of me after I've been hurt? No. But at the same point, it's a weird thing. And so when you see comments like this, Anitra, good morning, by the way, Anitra. And by the way, I didn't get to say who all got. Oscar's a member now. Robbie's a member now. Yay. Donna's a member, and Dina, and Amy. Hey, Amy M. And I think that, yay. Yeah, it's all Robbie's fault that I cuss now. You guys, yeah, no, honestly, KK Lone Wolf is amazing and kind and working on some amazing programs right now. He's got a foundation. I mean, I'm going to keep my mouth zipped for now because he's working hard. So, welcome to the members. Exactly. Yes. And blame Robbie for the cussing. It's all his fault. All his fault. So the scrolling. Oh my God. Did I just say doom screwing? Oh my God. Okay. I have been on live a little long. Yeah. And so just the whole thought of, okay, questions. And this is where I really wanted to get to here. Okay. These 5 questions, gang. Okay. And I'm probably going to kind of start pulling things together at the end of this. These are the good ones to ask yourself. And in fact, I'll probably copy paste these into Discord. When you start scrolling through YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever, okay, all those places, ask, is it mentally healthy for you to watch? And guys, it might be mentally healthy for you to watch yesterday, but not today. It might be fine for me to read it, okay, right now, but 10 minutes from now, no way. Because I've built up to that area where it's like, I'm now going to go overboard and I'm going to be starting to deal with issues. Okay. Is there something more constructive that you can do to help? Because I think a lot of us do this. Okay. We found ourselves, many of us during the fires in Lahaina were doing this. We wanted to hear all this stuff. What happened? What happened here? So many people got going down some other directions and stuff like that. Step back for a second. Is there something I can do to help the victims at this time? To become part of the solution rather than just hearing about it and reading about it and almost turning it into a sort of entertainment for ourselves. Not saying it's entertainment, but you know what I mean when I say that. So what can you do? Are there ways? Because I can guarantee you there are people on both sides right now who need help. And there are things that can be done. Now, how to do that's going to be different for each side, because we also know there's certain sides that are probably not going to let certain things get to things. Okay, certain money is not going to get to certain groups unless you go through a different group. Okay, so you've got to check into those things. Hope, how are the people of Lahaina doing? Are they getting help? They are. There was actually a one of the local groups out here that was getting help too. Okay, they had like adult briefs, they had all sorts of things. I mean, they had things that were helping people. Was actually robbed, and a lot of stuff was taken away. It pisses me off, but the people are doing good. We're keeping an eye on what's going. There's been a few things that I'm keeping an eye on, and I'll let you know for sure. And also, next, are you just playing into a propaganda campaign? This is important, gang. Research things. Who is it that's telling you this? If you see something that's saying something, and yeah, you may like what they're saying because it fits your way of thinking, but that doesn't mean it's true. You need to actually go and research it. Okay. Steve over on Agenda Free TV actually had a really perfect example of this earlier. He slept through most of the morning. Hey, AJ, how you doing, my dear DC? And he slept through most of the day. And when he woke up, he had all these messages about how, okay, from a couple people talking about how a number of Palestinians were killed by Israel shelling as they were trying to escape. Okay, trying to go south and all that. And he started researching everything. He's like, where's this? Where is this? And everything. And he's looking for all the information because it could happen. It really could happen. Okay, I don't know if it was from the shelling or direct or whatever, but all of a sudden he realized the only place he could find it was a direct report from Hamas. And it's like, wait, is that necessarily the best place to be getting your information from? Is it backed up by a secondary source or a tertiary source? What's coming together? Are there, okay, get the information. It's kind of like we said with Shani. Okay, someone is saying she's alive now. Okay, we want to believe things, but that doesn't mean you do. You have to question. You have to say, okay, where's the proof she's alive? Is there a picture? Is there, okay, where is this coming from? So that you can figure that out. Oh, Christola has 4 months. I can't believe it. We're literally getting almost up to 1 year that we've had members, and I can't believe it. Oh my God, I can't believe we've almost gotten to a year on this. Lone Wolf is, whether you're religious or not, please pray for those that are innocent. Exactly. Exactly. 95% of what I've seen and know that as documented facts, I can't and won't ever post. Yeah. We got to pray for people. And also, I mean, there are innocents being hurt, their lives torn apart. Every time you see one of those rockets, whether they're going this way or that way, someone innocent may be being hurt on that. And knowing that is important. Keeping them in your prayers is important. Next, am I being manipulated by tech platform algorithms? We know how our algorithms work. The more you research something, the more you look at something, the more you're going to get more content on that. Okay, doesn't mean that now that your whole algorithm shows nothing but this one issue, does that mean it's gotten worse? Or it's more true, or it's no, it just means that's all you're looking at. Okay, you literally can have a algorithm filled with nothing. Okay, I can get my algorithm completely filled up with nothing but clear plastic baggies. If I start researching, I mean, I could say the word clear plastic baggie and I guarantee you it's going to pop up on my phone. So are you being manipulated? Is your thought process being done there? Are people pay to get things advertised or pushed up on a platform? So what could be going on with that? Keep your eyes open on that. And do I have a plan to control my media engagement? Rather than being just a passive, oh yeah, this popped up in my algorithm and okay, do you have a plan to control it? To know when you've gone too far? Okay, when it's become a problem for you. Next, don't engage in the arguments online. Okay, that's why I say here, whether it's Discord or here, we're here to support each other. We don't have to even agree with everyone. Okay, we don't have to worry about all that stuff. Okay, but what we do have to do is be respectful of each other. Okay, we have to realize different people have different thought processes on things. As long as that respect is there and we're not, okay, starting into, everyone has an opinion, they're allowed to have that opinion. Okay, as long as they're willing to listen to other people. We can't always make other people agree with us. We can tell people how we feel. Okay, but and it can happen. We can do that. And put things into perspective, recognize what's all going on. Perspective, like I said, we were talking yesterday. Should you keep your kids home from school or not? Look at the perspective of what's happening in your neighborhood. What are the chances of something happening? Okay, and then look after yourself. We know all the things for taking care of yourself. We all know that. Okay, how do you take time for yourself? How do you make sure that you're not self-medicating when things get rough? How do you make sure you're getting enough sleep? All of those things. Keep an eye on those things, and because it does make a difference. And then just come talk with everyone. Right here, this thing here. Okay, some red flags for me that people are tipping from general stress in towards a mental health condition would be your mental health issues are interfering with day to day life. So you know you can't fulfill your usual responsibilities, go to work, or it's interfering with relationships, or, and the reason why I read this is that next word, you're ruminating. Ruminating, for those of you who don't remember, okay, or haven't heard me mention it before, ruminating is when you focus on something and you can't unfocus from it. You keep thinking about it. I mean, you go and grab yourself a drink to get away from that thought process, and you're right back to thinking about it. You cannot separate yourself from everything else that is going on. You need to be able to step away and not let it be the focus of everything. And do I think you should keep your kids home from school? That's a toss up because we all know yeah. Well, and that's a different thing too. I know yesterday a lot of the fears were, are my kids going to be safe going there? Okay, because of today being that day of rage bit. And also, poor Posty, what happened to Posty? And also, okay, so let me actually pull that down and make me big. Ew, we don't want to be big, do we? No, no, no. You've been a useless Angie. I love having you here, my dear. I enjoy having everyone else here. So, but I am going, yeah. You know what, and Mrs. You take those times to step back, refigure out where you are in things, and step forward in the direction where you need to be going. And again, knowing we can't change anyone around us, we can change ourselves. That's the only person we're responsible to change is ourselves. Let other people deal with themselves. And your posty posts were cleared out by four gorge. Ooh, that sounds good. And I thought I needed to update YouTube, but that's, oh, you guys are talking about those other things. So, anyhow, I have got to get to rehearsal. The show that I'm doing is so much. Oh my God, I wish so many of you guys could come see it because it's so much fun, but I know it's a little hard. Be a little expensive ticket to fly out to Hawaii just to see a show. And, but it is a lot of fun. We're having a lot with it. So if I could ever figure out a way to read it, have a read of it here, oh my God, that'd be so much fun. So, oh, Angie, it's not letting you mod. Is that what's going on? That's weird. You know what? Maybe what I'll do is unmod you, then remod you, see if that helps. What I'm going to do right now is remove you as a moderator and give it a second, and hopefully it'll let me remod you and type something back in, and then we'll take care of that. And maybe that will make a difference too. We'll see if that works. You got to get back to Buffy. Oh, yes. Yeah. Be aware of your, okay. Oh, it's on all channels. Okay. Never mind. Let me add you back. And also, yeah, I think that's a good one right there. Be aware. Okay. Be aware of your surroundings, how you're dealing with things, how you feel about different stuff. Please come join us on Discord. I will make a folder just for the subject and anyone who would like to either discuss the subject, and if you need a place to just post how you're feeling about stuff, okay, please feel free to use the mental health folders. The only rule, and everyone knows this, and I'll remind everyone, no drama allowed. No drama, no mentioning people connected to drama, nothing like that. I mean, this is all about us and what we can do rather than anything else. So if you're not sure how to be able to do that, let me know and I'll see if I can figure out a way for you to do that. And then we can work on from there. So anyhow, I need to get moving because I got to be there 45 minutes. So I am going to talk to all of y'all later. Sorry, I'm looking for something here. There it is. There's Crystal's outro. Love each and every one of you. And I'll talk to you soon. Aloha. Love you. Mahalo. Bye.